My son's energy was incredible. Anyone that met him spoke highly of him. His peers, they loved him. He was just ahead of his time. He was he was that guy. He was really that guy. When people talk about like Kobe and my son had that Mamba mentality. He had that infectious energy, and he just wanted to help anyone that was around him. He was, like I said, he was that guy. That was my guy. You know, even with this project that I'm doing now with YouTube, he was so involved in it, and that's one of the reasons that I kind of stopped, because I was going through the grief. And then, he just said, Daddy, you need to continue. You need to continue. I want you to continue. And that's the reason I picked it back up, because he was supposed to be involved with it with me, and we were supposed to do, things together and speak about, the younger people in his generation and what he sees the difference in between himself and other children that may not have a dad. One of his peers came to me at his funeral and was telling me, like, Mr. D, you did a great job with him. He said, this kid changed my life. He says, I was headed down the wrong path. And at his age, he spoke to me and mentored me and helped me change my way. He said, I wouldn't be the person I am now if I hadn't met your son. And you know what your son told me? He says, I get this from my dad. This is what my dad does for me. And I'm passing it on because this is what I've learned. And that's the highest accolade that I could possibly get in life. To know that my son valued the guidance I gave him during his 21 years. Yeah, he was just special, man. He was a special, special child. And, he makes me smile. You can see I'm smiling now. Before I was a little, but he just makes me smile every day, You guys gonna see his photos. Maybe I'll put in a couple of small videos of him just being himself, and you can understand he was just special. It's a different child, when people say that, my child was this and that, you have to believe them, because that's what they were to them. I don't care if the outside world thought he was a bad child. If that child was a good child to the people that loved him, he was a good person. And that's why I can understand when people say, children were intelligent, or, they were special. It's true. They were special to them, just the way my son was special to me and other people that were around him. Not one person had anything negative they could say about my son. And that's a good thing. But thanks, guys. I hope you guys enjoy your day. Just keep that positive energy, man. Keep that vibration high, at a high level. Don't lose that, Don't lose that energy at all, no matter what. We all have down times, but don't let it last, man. Bring in that sunshine, bring in that energy, put it back out there, What I say, positive energy. Eat that, swallow that, feed that to somebody else. Keep it up. Seeing my son for the first time in 2.5 years. Okay. You got a little funny face. Oh, love you.
Love you too.
Oh, God, I miss you so much. Did you talk to your daddy?
Not yet.
Not yet. Hey, he made it down. What's up, everybody? It's your man Jassy X. I wasn't even ready for the camera to come on, but is on. Today's a beautiful day. I gotta stop saying that. But today I'm gonna speak about my son. I said that I was gonna pick a nice day. He was gonna give me a nice day. And today is the 11th of October. And next month, the 8th of November, will be 1 year anniversary of my son crossing over. This is going to be a little emotional, so I don't know how I'm going to hold up. But my son's name was Geronimo Warner. I named him after the great Geronimo, the Indian, the Apache chief, and Geronimo Pratt of the Black Panther. He actually had another name, so it was two names we were actually going in between. But I chose Geronimo. I don't know why, but that came to me like that should have been his name because of the way he came out. Like he was born early, like almost a month early. He was due in August of 2001, and he came July 13th of 2001, just before 9/11. Both my children were born in wartime, one in 91 and the other one in 2001. So, you know, they were really born in some type of conflict, both of them. I guess that's why I think both of them are so great. I don't know. But I'm in love with my children, and I think that's a great attribute for a parent, to be actually in love with their children. My youngest one, Geronimo, the one I'm speaking about now, he was very, very special for the fact that he even made it here when, you know, his mom had so much complications with her pregnancy with him. I'm gonna tell you something about that whole situation with her having him. We broke up during the time she got pregnant, which was probably in November of 2000. She got pregnant and we were broken up. And I didn't want to be with her any longer. And, you know, when she told me, or my friend told me she was like real pregnant, because we had a discussion that we didn't want to have a child brought into this world in the circumstance that we were in. And she agreed to, you know, have an abortion. So that was the last conversation we had before my friend told me that she was indeed pregnant with him like 6 months later and I was out of the country. But I didn't want him, like, because of the situation. I didn't want him, you know, and I say that with the utmost confidence because it's the truth. Now, I accepted that she was going to have him, and I said, you know what? It's the universe's that wants him to be here, and I'm going to be the best father to him, like I was with am with my oldest son. So she had him, and you know, we went through some trials and tribulations, but when she had him, she had to do an emergency C-section. So I couldn't be in the room with her like I was supposed to be. And when he came out, the nurse was like, we didn't even have to touch him. She's like, he came out screaming, you know? And that's where I just knew his name was Geronimo, because of that fire he had, you know, and he's just like he was ready for the world because he tried to come out so many times before it was his due date. And he's a special guy. Like, that's my God. Like, both of my children, but with your children, you're gonna have different relationships, and we just had a different relationship versus my oldest son. Love him the same, but the relationships are different. Geronimo was my guy. He was that, I want to do everything my daddy wants. Everything that my daddy does, I want to do. Sorry about that. He just was everywhere with me, even though he lived on the West Coast and I lived on the East Coast. Every holiday, every summer, he was with me. We traveled all over the place. He was like my suitcase. Like, everywhere I go, he would be with me. Our bond was incredible. I remember the first time taking him to Antigua, and he was just about, I think he was just about to be 3. He was about to be 3. Mind you, this kid can talk. Like, he can speak, like, at 2 years old, he can speak, like, very well, like, form sentences and paragraphs. He was just intelligent, really, really smart child. And I remember when we got off the airplane, I said to him, I said, baby, what do you want? He's like, Daddy, I want coconut milk. You know, like in the cartoons, you know, when they go on the islands and they get that coconut milk, he says, that's what I want. So we stopped at the side of the road and got some coconut water, and he was like, oh man. He's like, this is nice. And then like a few miles down the road, he said to me, Daddy, everybody here is black. He's like, and they look tough. They're tough looking people. He's like, Daddy, I'll never want to leave here. I love this place. Those were the first words, like, off the plane. Like, you could see how intuitive he was and how connected he was to who he was before, you know, before he developed into an adult. He knew exactly who he was. Like, his energy, his spirit, it's like it had to be here before. He just was an exceptional child. And I remember, you know, when I showed him mangoes on the tree and, you know, fruits on the tree, he's like, Daddy, fruits grow on the tree? I said, yeah. He didn't know any better, you know, because he didn't experience any of that stuff. I did, you know, as a child, but, you know, because I grew up in the West Indies. But some kids don't get that experience in the beginning. They have to wait till they grow up. They think fruits come from the supermarket and that's it, but they don't. So, you know, he learned something new. A lot of things new when he was in the West Indies. He just loved that place, you know. We frequented so much every summer, you know. Before he started playing competitive basketball, we were always going away. The experiences are just like, I would have to spend a lifetime speaking about this child and the adventures we had, you know. But Antigua and the West Indies, that's his heart was there. His heart was there. He loved that place. He loved the West Indies. We frequent a whole lot of islands, but the main two were St. Martin and Antigua. He loved those places. He's got his Uncle P down there, and we just did a lot of things, you know. I remember taking him to the nude beach, and he didn't even realize that the women were naked the first time he went to a nude beach. And I think the following year when I took him, he said, Daddy, he says, that's just not right. And I said, what do you mean that's just not right? He goes, look, that lady's boobies, they look like 2 oranges were just put there. and that's because she had breast implants and they look like two oranges. So that was that was funny, but he never even really like got, you know, too excited. You know, they were just titties, you know. So when you expose a child to certain things at a young age, you know, within limits, you know, they adapt, you know. And that's one thing I know, kids adapt. When he was on the West Coast, I would actually call him to put him to bed, you know, reading books to him over the phone for like half an hour, and I'd be like, aren't you ready to go to bed? He's like, no, one more story, Daddy. His favorite book was this book that's called Little Critters, and it had like a whole bunch of stories in there, and one was Peter Cottontail, and I used to read him Peter Cottontail and all his little stories inside that book. For me, now, him not being here and being in this park, I come to this park like every day since I've been here in New York, and I can literally feel his energy when I came in this park, because this is something that he loved. He loved being outside. Even though he was born in 2001, where he should have been like, you know, into technology, he loved outside, man. He was an outdoors kid. You know, he had a motorcycle at 3 years old, and we used to go outside, because I used to go over the West Coast and visit him. We used to go outside and ride his dirt bike. I actually had that bike when he was 2. Yeah, about 2 he had that dirt bike, because I like to get him early. I like to get him on there early. He had on training wheels when he was 2 years old, and I had told his mom never to sell it, and she ended up selling his bike. He called me, he's like, Daddy, you know, Mommy sold my dirt bike. I was like, why would she do that? He's like, I don't know, talking about she needed money. But it's material things, but it was like a keepsake. Like, now I wish that I still had that dirt bike. I mean, I still have one of his motorcycles, but that one was a little special because that was his first one. I guess I'm making this video to kind of help myself go through the healing process. I understand life and death a lot. Like, I really understand it. I know this is not forever, and we don't have a set time limit on how long we're gonna be here, you know, or when we leave. So that part I understand. So for me, it's not that he's, how would I say it? I miss physically interacting with him. That's what I can say. I miss the physical part. Other than that, he's still with me. Like, he's still here. Every day I feel him. Every day I sense him, and I understand, and I look for the signs that he sends me. And some people might not believe that, you know, until they go through this experience and learn how to understand that their loved ones on the other side are still communicating with them in the present. And it's something you have to embrace and have to understand. My family are in tune spiritually, just point blank. So that transition was already easy for me, because I already experienced that, you know, with my grandmother passing, my brother passing at 19 years old, and I felt their energy continuously. So that's not the issue. It's the him not being able to call me for advice, or, you know, like he used to. Him not calling or texting to say I love you, Daddy. Like, you know, that's what gets me. You know, every morning I text him with a motivational text and tell him I love him, and he'll text me back and tell me he loves me. And if he got too busy at school and he missed texting me either later in the night or the next day. He's like, Daddy, I'm sorry. I didn't text you back, but I love you too. And I always told him, like, just enjoy your youth. And he's like, what does that mean, Daddy? What does that mean? I say enjoy your youth because I personally know how short this life is. It can go in a blink of an eye. And I think that's the reason I always told him, enjoy your youth. Now, I told you guys that I didn't particularly want another child when Nimo was coming. But there's one thing I have to say. When he came, that was it. I was in love, and that was it. And I used to tell him, I said, I never wanted you. I don't know how I can live without you. That's the difficult part, living without him right now. Sorry. I mean, physically, just living without him is hard. It's tough. And until you walk in someone else's shoes that's so in love with their children, it's hard to understand. It's really hard to understand. So, like, I watch the news. Sorry, my voice is cracking up. I watch the news, and you see these people lose their children at young ages, and the media is like asking them these stupid questions, because they don't know any better, So this is for people that are going through the same thing I'm going through. Your child, your loved one, whoever you lost is still with you. You just have to listen. You have to listen. And this life is not forever for none of us. We don't choose the color of our skin. We don't choose the location we're born. We don't choose anything when we come out of this earth. Because that's what it is. We are part of this earth, this universe. We don't choose any of that. Even to be born, they said it's like 1 in 400 million just for you to be born. So just imagine how lucky you are to be here, and your child was here, even if it was just a short time. I literally have a hard time some days where I don't want to be here. Like, I've done everything, I've seen everything I feel that I want to see. Yes, there's other things I want to do, but none of it's important anymore because my baby is not here to share it with me. I'm single. Basically, at times I feel like no one understands. No one loves me besides maybe my mom. That's how I feel personally, even though I know there are people that love me. My friend, I have friends that are very caring. April, Tanya, my cousins. There are other people I might not be able to mention, but as far as someone showing that they care, those are the people that mostly show that they care. Everybody else, they'll say they care, but they don't call you or check on you to see how you're doing. And if you're someone that is friends or have a loved one that lost someone, just check on them. Just ask them how they're doing. That's it. You don't have to say anything. I just call to check on you. That means a lot. You don't have to discuss what happened or how they're feeling. Just say, I'm calling to check on you. And if they feel like speaking, you just let them speak and you head them out. That's it. That's the therapy. That's what I feel, I thank my mom a lot because, she helped me get through this experience because my brother passed away at 19. So quite young for both my son and my brother. So I've been through this experience before. My best friend died at 13, and I thought that was the end of the world. I didn't want to live. At 13, I was 2 years older than him. I was 15, he was 13. We got hit by a car, a drunk driver, maybe a quarter mile away from my house, not far. And I thought that was the end of it. But as these things happen, I start to understand about life and death. When I was younger, I thought only old people passed away. That was it. You had to get old in order to die. And it doesn't work like that. My best friend, he died. Another best friend of mine passed away on a motorcycle when I was younger, and I seen that coming. I tried to warn him, like, please don't get on this bike at this time right now. I don't want to. And the words came out of my mouth. 10 minutes later, he was gone. And I cried more that time than I think any time I ever cried in my life. Like, we were away from home, and the whole trip back home, tears just ran out my eyes till the next day, till I didn't have any more tears. So I guess those things actually helped prepare me, as far as understanding life and death. But there's nothing that is a parent losing a child. That's a tough one. That's a really tough situation for anybody to be in. Pardon me a second. See, no sugar. No sugar. See, I'll think I'm drinking something, and I'm a plant-based person. Life is it's a challenge. It is a challenge. The number one thing is that we have to pay to live, which is insane. You literally have to pay to live. Now that concept right there, that concept alone is it's crazy. You have to pay to live. It's unbelievable. What's the point of being alive if you have to pay to live? It's just insane. My son, just an incredible person. So many stories about him. It would probably take me, I don't even know how long to tell you all the stories, but he was just an incredible person. My heart hurts. Like, literally, I can feel a pain in my heart at times. I get lost for words. I really get lost for words. I know his mom is having a tough time. We speak. There's one thing that someone passing away that two people that didn't speak. Now my son passing has brought us on a very, good terms. We speak at least once a week, via text, or she might call me. She invites me to places, and I'm willing to go because I loved her. And I still love her. I'm not in love, but people think that love dies. True love doesn't die. It changes. You might not be physically, emotionally in love with the person, but you love the person as a human being, and it's someone that you were with. So love never dies. And anyone that tells you that, love died. Your love died for them. It's not true. It's changed. It's changed. You know, maybe you're not in love with the person the way you used to be. You know, and I'm more than happy to attend anything that she invites me to, because we shared a special person with both our DNAs, 50% hers and 50% mine. And I think like some people say you're gonna be the person you're gonna be no matter who your mother and father is. I don't think so. I think that the DNA inside the person makes a difference. It makes a difference. Geronimo wouldn't be Geronimo without his mom. Geronimo wouldn't be Geronimo without me being his father. So he was a gift. It was a gift that I had to return, you know. I don't know. He gave me this beautiful day just to speak about him, you know, and enjoy this weather. I don't know if you guys have had a situation like this, you know, it'll be okay. That's what I'm gonna tell you. Time will make it a little less painful. The memory of it and that person will never go away, because that's love. You just can't. You can't. That can't die. That energy can't die. You know, the other day I was watching something. I was about to watch an F1 race, and I am born to sleep, right? So I was on the couch and I fell asleep, and this is for real. I'm sleeping, the race is getting ready to come on, but I'm sleeping. I felt him tap me on my knee and say, "Daddy, get up, the race is about to be on." As vivid as I am right now, I felt him. I felt him. He just tapped my leg and said, "Daddy, it's time to get up and watch a race." And I got up and I just smiled and I was like, "Thank you, baby." You know, that 33 is always with me. You know, it's tattooed on me. His name's tattooed on me. His spirits live on. His energy lives on. I can honestly say I feel him. I see him, like in my thoughts, in my mind. He lives on in me. Although I'm not, I don't know. I feel lost at times. I feel lost. I feel like my purpose is no longer valid. Like, my purpose was him. In this part of my life, he was my focus, like my everything. You know, because of that relationship. I'm gonna let me read our last text that he texted me the day he passed. Let me see. Wow, that was 11/8 of 2000. And it's so funny because you're gonna be like, no, that's not right. The day before my son crossed over, this was on Monday, November 7th of 2022. I said to him, "Great rising, my Nimo. Have a fantastic, joyous day. I love you, Dada. I think the Powerball is tomorrow. I'm gonna send you $10 to play it for us." He says, "Good morning, Daddy. I love you too." Okay, I did. Saying that he played already. And then he tells me, he sensed this, like he knew he was gonna pass. He knew it was his time to leave. And this is what he wrote me the day before he passed away. He says, also, I'm just letting you know my car is still acting funny, shaky and sliding and not driving right. So if anything happens, it's that reason. I, in turn, said, baby, don't speak it into existence. We'll have something new soon. Just ask the universe for it. He says, okay. On November 8th, same thing. I sent him motivation, tell him I love him. And he said, good morning, Daddy, I love you too. And I said to him, I'm gonna send you $10 to play Powerball. Maybe it's our luck and we'll win. And he goes, I already played it yesterday. It's twice I told him, because we were so into, like scratch-offs when he was small, and so now he's of age to play, lotto. When I was in the West Indies, he would play for me. And I said, okay. I said, remember you used to always ask me to buy scratch-offs for you when you were little? And he said, yes, because I like scratching them. And that was my last conversation with my son. That was the last conversation I had with him. So I'm going to show y'all guys why it's so important to tell people you love them, every day. Like, maybe that was something that helped me, because I know every day I told them I loved them, both of them, both of my children, every day. I used to get separation anxiety from him all the time. Every time he'd visit, I would dread him leaving. You know how many times I had to get on a plane to take him back to the West Coast, leaving the East Coast, because he would not get on the plane. This was when he was younger. So I used to have to just get on the plane and do a round trip, because he wouldn't get on the plane by himself. And I remember the last time he did that, I didn't have to get on the plane, but he said to me, he said he's not, he didn't say it to me, he just, when he was on the plane, they couldn't take him. They say, if he's in distress, we cannot take him. He said, like, try again tomorrow. And I was so upset, because his mother gave me the business over the phone, telling me, oh, you let a little kid do this to you, and you're supposed to, and I'm like, yo, the kid's in distress, he can get on the plane, he doesn't want to leave, and she's cursing me out. I got upset because she wasn't compassionate enough to understand why this child didn't want to go back. Talk to me like a human being, like, just talk to him and, tell him he has to go back to school, no compassion at all, just, oh, rah, rah, rah. And that's the one thing I couldn't deal with her. And he fell asleep in the car on the way back to the house. And when he woke up, he said, Daddy, he said, I'll go home tomorrow. I just want to spend one more day with you. And now, that one day, that one priceless day means a lot. It means a whole lot to me, man. So, what I'm trying to say is, like, anybody out there that has a child that tells you something about spending time with you, listen to them. Accommodate them the best way you can. Spend that time. Because those days are priceless, and they're not promised the next day. Take that day. Take that time. And spend it with them. Because your presence is priceless toys, you know, material things, they mean nothing. That time you put in, that you spend with them, that's everything. That's the priceless part of your relationship with your children. Just spending time with them. And, you know, people say, you know, they'll give anything to have some time. I'm okay, because I know I put in that time. We had some good times. We really had some good times. We spent a lot of time together. I don't have regrets in life. I'm not a person that's built like that. The reason being is because I think that every decision you make at that time is the right decision for you at that time. Yes, hindsight's 20/20. You could say, oh, I changed this, I could change that. You know, if you could go back, but you can't go back. You can't go back. So whatever you decide during that time is the right decision. But going forward, you can look back and know your actions today can be different than younger you. You know, so if you have a chance now to do something different, something better in life, do it. You know, we only learn by actions, and then your actions, after actions come understanding. So I don't want to be here forever, you know, and bore you guys with the anniversary of my son's passing, you know, which I will post this on the 8th of November. 1 year. 1 year. He'd be graduating this year out of college. I remember what he told me. He's like, Daddy, he says, I got too many good people around me to ever fail in life. He said, I refuse to fail. He had that spirit, strong-minded spirit. That's why his name is Geronimo. Geronimo, Shiloh, and give him the X. That was a god, a prince, a king. All in that order. He was a prince, right? Then he was a king, and now he's become a god. My son, I'm proud to have shared 21 years with you, and I know that you're with me, and I'm with you, right? And the universe will put us together again. So you guys, keep that positive energy. Be mindful of the things you do. Be good to each other. Love each other. Take care of each other, because that's what we're here for, to take care of each other. Peace. Your man X out.
Never stop, I'll get it if I want it. Gotta make to myself a promise. I won't quit, keep going till I got it. I won't give up till I'm on top.
Yo, no, I ain't the type to give up. If I do something, man, I do it till I get what I want. I turn a business out of nothing into something I love. I got a poker face, but honestly, I'm not one to bluff. I flip a switch, never miss, man, I always stay up. Don't let them see you, bitch, always have a plan to stay tough. This life ahead of you ain't easy, it was built to be rough. But that's what makes a personality, is tragedy, bruh. So keep your head on your shoulders. Now we ain't out here moving rocks, we out here moving boulders. Now we ain't getting posterized, we out here making posters. And we ain't got nothing to hide, we move forward like soldiers. You better wake up for the pay stub, or you'll pay up. Don't make love to the game, bruh, fuck the game up. Change up, rearrange stuff to your greatness. Famous for the way up, play the game, bruh.
Never stop, I'll get it if I want it. Gotta make to myself a promise. I won't quit, keep going till I if I want it. Gotta make to myself a promise. I won't quit, keep going till I got it. I won't give up till I'm on top.
Yo,
yeah.
no, I ain't the type to give up. If I do something, man, I do it till I get what I want. I turn a business out of nothing into something I love. I got a poker face, but honestly, I'm not one to bluff. I flip a switch, never miss, man, I always stay up. Don't let them see you, bitch, always have a plan to stay tough. This life ahead of you ain't easy, it was built to be rough. But that's what makes a personality, is tragedy, bruh. So keep your head on your shoulders. Now we ain't out here moving rocks, we out here moving boulders. Now we ain't getting posterized, we out here making posters. And we ain't got nothing to hide, we move forward like soldiers. You better wake up for the pay stub, or you'll pay up. Don't make love to the game, bruh, fuck the game up. Change up, rearrange stuff to your greatness. Famous for the way up, play the game, bruh.
Never stop, I'll get it if I want it. Gotta make to myself a promise. I won't quit, keep going till I got it. I won't give up till I'm on top, yeah.
You know I'm always honest, there ain't no way I'm ever stopping.
I won't quit, keep going till I got it. I won't give up till I'm on top,
I'm always flirting with pain, she like to hurt me and maim. I'm always working to change, but she's still lurking the same. I keep on building a dynasty while the haters be trying me. But they hate from inside, you see, hate themselves in society. So I let them speak quietly while my actions speak wider. See, they be hiding in privacy with the screen, oh the irony. To hate someone who's trying to be whatever they would like to be. We all feel the anxiety, we make our own rivalries. Yo, so where is all the positivity? I feel like we all just hate on everything, it's killing me. Thoughts build quick, causing different possibilities. Negative thoughts will cause different disabilities. So do better, work hard under pressure. If you got no time, work smarter than ever. Don't ever let them tell you that you can't ever say never. And turn your mind into the truest of go-getters.
Never stop, I'll get it if I want it. Gotta make to myself a promise. I won't quit, keep going till I got it. I won't give up till I'm on top, yeah.
You know I'm always honest, there ain't no way I'll never stop it.
I won't quit, keep going till I got it. I won't give up till I'm on top, yeah.
In a place where they told you what to chase, told you how to run the race. Every move was on the page, but I didn't like their way. Had to fight and misbehave, had to find a way to change, had to leave to find my way. Caught up in a daydream, I beat my mind up there almost daily. It's how I pass time, no opinions safely. It's how I understand what I want in this place, see. Cause everybody wanna tell you bad things, what could go wrong, what fame brings. But success is a finicky thing, and if you ain't sure, no, it'll never be.
I don't wanna let myself